I pretty much go for girth instead of, length.
Yeah, what is the girth on that? Is that a good girth size right there?
That's pretty hefty. Like, you got to squeeze that shit in there.
I mean, look at the thick foreskin on the end of that sumbitch.
Okay, you just took it over. You just went way too far with that.
That's not the meat we're looking at.
All right, so beef chuck eyes. You can see that, there's some really good marbling in there. The only thing I did with it was I kind of dry aged it a little bit. Mm-hmm. So you can kind of see how it got a little dark. Sea salt, black pepper, garlic granules, and then I did add a little bit of Szechuan sauce. The petite sirloin. You can kind of see how it doesn't... These are the peat.
Sorry.
It comes from the back of the cow.
Back of the cow? Okay.
There's not as much marbling.
Right.
You do have this fat cap on there.
Marbling. Ooh.
And a lot of times when they leave it as a roast, it's called a culat. So what we'll do with these ones, like I'm going to cook these differently than these. We'll cook, and it might seem weird, but we're going to cook them like this first. Right on that fat cap. And just let the heat, and then we'll just sear it off.
Okay.
Because that'll break down a little bit. Some smoky flavor. I've done it before.
Do you ever just cut the fat off right from the start with something like that, or is it just better to go with the fat since it's not marbled as much?
Well, you can buy it without that. Okay. I bought it specifically because of that fat cap. Just because when you're just... It's a cast iron, so what I'll do is heat up the cast iron first. Put my oil in there. Get it to my temperature that I like, and then I'm going to start. So basically, it's kind of like when we did the pork chops. You put that pork chop in your pan. You want it to sizzle. Boom. And then, if it's too hot, you can turn it down. I mean, that's the great thing about cast iron is it retains that heat for such a long period of time.
Yep.
And you can see we already got a patina going out there from cooking the pork the other night, which was great. I didn't have to cook last night, so I have to give a shout out to Mike, Wali-G.
Thanks.
Wali-G.
But basically what we're doing right now is I'm leaving the steaks out. I want them to get up to room temperature. And that's going to loosen up the fat. It'll cook evenly. I haven't tried the frozen method, but I hear that's a really good one is... taking your steaks, drying them off so they're as dry as possible, cornstarch, equal parts cornstarch and sea salt, and just rubbing it all over both sides, and then they freeze it on a raised rack so that any juices that do come out, your steak's not sitting in it. Think about like doing a chicken in a pan where if you cook it in its own juices, like the skin can get kind of soggy, blah, blah.
Yep.
It's not as enjoyable.
Yep.
So that's what we're going to do.
Awesome.
And these are just the steaks. Yep.
Fuck yeah, get that shit done. Here we go, as they say.
Rock on.
Thanks, Jeremy. Awesome.
Then we got our twice baked potatoes that we had going on. We use a little bit of blue cheese, jalapenos. Obviously, after we baked them, we took the potato, put it back, and made a puree of that with broccoli as well. And then we rebaked it, shredded cheddar with some green onion. So we got the two different steaks in here, like we said before. So these are the petites. And remember that fat cap. See how I kind of roasted that? It's a nice golden brown. It broke up a lot. Same thing with that. So I mainly cooked this steak on its side compared to these beef chuck eyes. Beef chuck eyes I just cook like a regular steak. You can kind of see the darker areas are where the fat has kind of caramelized. It's breaking down. It's adding flavor in a pan. And I just flipped them, so you want that kind of golden brown. That's what I look for. And what I'll do with these is I'll sear them off on each side. You can kind of see right there where it's still pretty raw, but it's going to cook quick. And that's the two different ways that you different cuts of meat, and you're going to get different flavors here. Like when you taste and cut into the petite compared to the ribeye, different flavors, even though it has the same seasoning, which is amazing because once you start to learn how to utilize different cuts of meat, then it's like doors open, especially when you have cheaper cuts of meat. You know, what can I do with a beef chuck roast, which is typically really cheap. But yeah, you can kind of see how that's still rubbery.
Can you tell the audience how it smells?
Well, let's.
What do you think, audience?
It smells damn good. I mean, it's got that nice cooked meat flavor, you know, and a little bit of herby.
Are you feeling hungry?
Oh hell! Turn you guys back for a minute. Let me show you something.
You know, the other thing we got to consider is we do have the portobello mushrooms there, sauteing and a sauce there. So we're just going to steam those up and kind of reduce them a little bit. That'll be a nice topper on there. You know, we went all out, and then you know it was the same price as getting the button mushrooms. So
you got your double baked potatoes,
and then. This is the thing we worked on today. Oh, so I think those are ready for some cheese and stuff.
Ready for some lamb. Oh, got the big gloves out.
Right here we have the two different steaks. This is the petite sirloin that has that cap on there. Just give you a burst of flavor. This is the petite sirloin that has that cap on there. We try to cook them medium rare to medium. And the good thing is, you know, if you cook the ends, like that's more done for somebody that might not want it bloody. But then you get in the middle and it's more pink or, you know, more red. So what I did was sea salt, black pepper, garlic granules. I kind of let it sit in the fridge without being covered, and that kind of helped dry it out a little bit, and I just think it condensed the flavors and made it great. So let's get chowing.